Let's take a look at what's grabbing headlines here in France, and I'm joined in the studio by Florence Villeminot. Hello, good morning to you, good to see you. Now papers are focusing on the 30th anniversary of a TV charity event that raises money for rare genetic diseases.
Indeed, it's called the Téléthon, which I guess refers to what it is, a television marathon, Téléthon. Now, it's 30 hours of non-stop television. This is a concept that was, of course, invented in the United States, exists in several parts of the world, but the French took it to a whole new level. 30 hours of non-stop live television on the public broadcaster France Télévision. Apparently, this is the longest live television show in the world, and it kicks off tonight. You can read all about it here in Libération, which pays tribute to the Téléthon on its 30th anniversary. It was created in 1987 to raise money for rare diseases, and Libération says that over the years, it's made millions. It's raised millions for medical research, and it's given a real boost to medical research, and it's also become part of the cultural landscape, says Libération. In December, at the end, you have Christmas and New Year, and at the beginning of December, you have the Téléthon.
Okay, well, all sorts of artists participate in the Téléthon. There are events on television and around the country.
And a lot of people say that if the Téléthon is the success that it is, it's because over the years there's been an effort at the national level, but also at the local level. And it's really interesting to look at the front page of local papers today, because you'll see there's a real effort to get people to give money to the Téléthon. Let's take a look, first of all, at the front page of Courrier Picard. So this is a paper from the north of France. You can see they're saying, à vos dons. Please donate money to the Téléthon. So from north to south, let's go look at La Province, a paper based in Marseille. It's also calling for people to give money today. They're using a slightly different technique. If we take a look at the front page of La Province, you can see a photo of a little boy. His name is Jules. He has a rare disease. He needs you. So you can see, I guess you could say, pulling on people's heartstrings to give money to the Téléthon. It's actually very easy to do. All you have to do is pick up your phone in France and dial the number 3637.
Okay, well, this year's Téléthon is going to be a little bit tricky because of tomorrow's national ceremony in honour of Johnny Hallyday. Of course, France's biggest rock star, the French Elvis Presley, passed away earlier this week, leaving a country in mourning.
And it has been the big story of the week, of course, Rochelle, and it can be hard to understand because, of course, Johnny Hallyday isn't really famous outside of France. Now, if you want to know why Johnny Hallyday is such a big deal in France, please do check out Le Parisien. You might find some answers. You can see the front page here, Aujourd'hui en France, Le Parisien, explaining why we loved him so much. Now, yesterday, authorities announced that France is going to pay a national homage to the legendary rock star, and there had been a lot of speculation about whether he was going to get a state funeral, which is usually something reserved for France's greatest heroes. Now, the French presidency said it was going to stop short of that, but they've kind of invented a new concept for him. It's called a popular homage, and thousands of people are expected to flock to the Champs-Élysées tomorrow, where there will be a procession. Apparently, a lot of motorcycles will be going down the Champs-Élysées.
A lot of Harley-Davidsons, I'm sure.
There's a lot of singing going on.
Yes.
And then there will be a church service at La Madeleine, and I will be there to give you all the details.
You will indeed. Well, Johnny Hallyday isn't the only major public figure who died this week. Papers are also continuing to pay tribute to Jean d'Ormesson, a French novelist, philosopher, and journalist who died on Thursday.
On Tuesday, actually.
Tuesday, sorry,
the day
I
before
misread that.
Johnny Hallyday, or perhaps even the same day, in fact. Now, Le Figaro is paying tribute to Jean d'Ormesson. Jean d'Ormesson was actually the managing director of Le Figaro for years, so lots of emotion in Le Figaro. You can see this is a very moving tribute by the former president, Valéry Giscard d'Estaing, who was actually a childhood friend of Jean d'Ormesson. And you can see this quote right here. It says, "Ever since we met when you were 8 and I was 7, our relationship has stayed the same. You haven't changed, and neither have I." And you can see the title here, Au revoir et merci, which is actually the title of one of Jean d'Ormesson's many books.
Okay. Right, a word on football now, and Cristiano Ronaldo was awarded the Ballon d'Or yesterday, his 5th.
It's a very prestigious prize,
Wow.
the Ballon d'Or, and it's actually awarded by a French weekly magazine, France Football. The ceremony yesterday took place on the first floor of the Eiffel Tower. Pretty glitzy there. You can read all about it in L'Équipe, the sports daily, which is paying tribute to Cristiano Ronaldo for his 5th Ballon d'Or. He's actually reaching the ranks of Lionel Messi, who already has 5 Ballon d'Or too. L'Équipe says that he's galactique. He's in another galaxy, and Ronaldo says he's ready to go even further. He wants to keep playing at the top of his game for the years to come.
Wow. Okay. Well, congratulations, Cristiano Ronaldo. Right. We're ending on something a little different now. Here in France, it's custom for middle school students to do an internship to get some experience in the working world.
Which is a pretty good idea, right? It's always good to get some experience at a young age. It's called the Stage de Troisième. Troisième is, I guess, the freshman year of high school, but it's actually still middle school in France. You're about 14 years old, and in either December or in February, you go and spend a week observing how life happens in businesses. It's kind of a rite of passage, and you can see 20 Minutes here has some advice for these new interns so that their first experience in the working world will be optimal. The art and the behavior to adopt during this internship. So what is this golden advice? Well, if you look inside 20 Minutes, you'll get all sorts of tips. It's not really rocket science, it must be said. 20 Minutes says to be prepared, to know where you're going to be working, how long it takes to get there, etc. To have a good attitude at work, don't drag your feet, be motivated. And then there's some basics, like don't chew chewing gum, dress for the job, don't play hooky. Probably good advice for any job.
Good advice indeed. Do you remember your first internship?
It was actually at a newspaper.
And mine was at a radio station.
There you go.
So we didn't
really go off course.
Yeah, we didn't go off course. We stayed on path. Flo, thank you so much for that. Florence Villeneuve there with the French press review. Well, stay with us here on France 24. Lots more news coming up in just a few minutes. Don't go away.